Today I want to analyze the Dr. Opioid article by Chris Pomorski. So in the beginning we can see that the author starts with the clear opening scene of a mother finding her son dead. This striking beginning hooks us to continue reading by showing the action. Starting with the article with the death description creates some sort of impression of the great final and brings the reader to the end. This approach evokes interest to know what actually happened that led to such an awful result. Thus, the reader are more engaged to continue reading. Another fictional feature is the depth of details. Right, like here, the author uses a lot of adjectives such as long-necked and wiry, with heaven and deep retreat and small, just to describe two guys at the scene. So this kind of precision is also used to transfer the reader directly to the place and time of the action. The reader feels like the events are happening just in front of them and they're participating. Besides the fictional features, we also use traditional non-fictional features such as stating facts. Here he introduced the thesis of diversion. So the main theme of the article is to describe the phenomena when doctors distribute drugs illegally and that there is flaws in legislation that should be fixed. And then, starting from the second part until the end, the author also uses non-fictional features such as summarization. He presents raw actions in a chronological order and uses a lot of numbers and a lot of dates throughout the text, just presenting events in chronological order without stating any opinion or thoughts of personal feelings. This approach allows author to stay away from the actions and be objective. Another non-fictional feature that allows the author to be objective is the third-person perspective. The author doesn't use the I word and only uses subject and verb in active tense, such as enumerating events over and over again. This makes the paper kind of raw and uninteresting, but from the non-fictional side, it makes it truthful and reliable. And in the end, it's the first time where the author uses I statement and reflects on the O'Brien's personality. He introduced his own opinion. He said that O'Brien is a protagonist, and this means that the author uses characterization feature, which is a fictional feature, but he uses it only in the end, thus staying objective and as truthful as possible the whole article. Reading the article, my interpretive lens came to play because my perception of the US is that it's a hub of drugs, gangs, violence, and debauchery. And when I was reading the article, this it reinforced my confirmational bias. The story of a crazy doctor in the US who used patients for sex and money in exchange for opium, is like very stereotypical for me of the US. But I was aware of this bias, and I did some research on this matter and found out that the rate of these crimes is not high in the US than in other countries, so it was my false perception. Also, I did some contextual research. I done research on Williams O'Brien life and illegal drug distribution problem. I found out that the problem has become more and more widespread in the last years due to the law changes. The sphere wasn't controlled enough, thus seducing more doctors to use loopholes and earn easy money. The context made me realize that it's more a fault of government than the doctors. It's in human nature to fall for tempting offers and opportunities, and so the government has a responsibility to guarantee that the working environment is safe for everyone. Otherwise, people, especially such as like William O'Brien with mental health problems, will just become criminals without clear intentions to do that. From my research, I found that the doctors engage in illegal drug distribution for several main reasons: easy money, appeal to risky actions, and a feeling of power. O'Brien suffered from bullying at school for his extra weight, which might have imposed trauma and thus cultivated his appeal for power and made him a person he became. In conclusion, I want to say that I also tried to find some background of the author, but the only available thing that he's a freelancer and he works for eminent papers such as New York Times, Washington Post, which means that he's probably unbiased in his work, and it makes me trust him more. Thank you.